support law enforcement. And in sports, a public MMA open day to bring cage fights and training sessions to FLAC. We start the news this morning with the ongoing reward money saga. Superintendent of Police Ashik Jagai will remain in detention until August 21st after appearing in court yesterday under heavy police escort and tight security. The Financial Crimes Commission objected to his release on bail. Earlier in the day, ASP Danraz Gangadin, arrested on July 24th in connection with the same scandals shaking the police force, was granted conditional bail. Priyanka Hari tells us more.
Superintendent Ashik Jagai has been remanded in custody until August 21st. The FCC objected to his release on bail for two reasons: risk of interfering with witnesses and risk related to evidence. The FCC also informed the court that the superintendent would be transferred to the Mocha Detention Center as the Coromandel cell is not equipped with surveillance cameras. His lawyer, Maître Raouf Goulboul, filed a motion requesting that other detainees not have access to the senior officer in order to ensure his safety. For security reasons, he left the court through an internal exit directly accessing the parking area of the premises before being taken to the FCC for further questioning in the reward money case. His lawyer also requested that the former lead of the ex-STT be allowed the necessary facilities at designated time to take his medication. As a reminder, a large police presence was deployed on Thursday, August 14th to avoid any incident. Wearing a bulletproof vest and a helmet, he appeared in court.
And moving to economic-related news, where the governor of the Bank of Mauritius, Matinale, warned this week that inflation may start rising again, meaning consumers could soon feel the pinch. Economist Manisha Dukoni attributes the pressure on prices to the so-called Trump tariffs, varying custom duties depending on the region, whose impact is being felt in Mauritius. She notes, however, that if the global economy slows down and oil prices keep falling, there could be some relief in the coming months. Economist Amir Bakieta shares a similar view, saying the current inflationary push is driven largely by uncertainty and disruption caused by US tariff renegotiations with several countries. In such a monetary climate, he believes maintaining interest rates is the right approach. He reassures that inflation should not spiral as it has in recent years. And today, August 15, Catholics are celebrating the Feast of the Assumption, which commemorates the Virgin Mary being taken body and soul into heaven. The Assumption is a reminder of the victory of life over death and a source of hope for believers. Mary, through her yes to God, became a sign and model for humanity. On this day, masses, processions, and prayers rise to her in joy and gratitude. According to Bishop Michael Giron, the Assumption is more than tradition. It is a promise of light and peace for all who walk in faith. More on this with Priyanka Hari.
The Assumption is a celebration of the Virgin Mary's ascent into heaven. Mary always shows us a model of faith, and we give thanks to God for this great feast of the Assumption, which we celebrate on the 15th of August 2025, marking 75 years since Pope Pius XII declared it a moment of great importance in the life of Christians and Catholics. Mary continues to guide us on the path of peace. This year, as we also mark 85 years of Marie Reine de la Paix, she reminds us that our world is in deep need of peace, a world that must constantly be transformed. Mary also shows us that even in suffering, we can turn to God to help us overcome our trials.
And staying with celebrations, Hindus in Mauritius are celebrating Krishna Janmashtami, marking the birth of Lord Krishna. The day is filled with prayers, fasting, devotional singing, and night vigils leading up to midnight, the symbolic hour of his birth. Temples across the island are welcoming devotees with special security and traffic measures in place. Pandit Amendra describes the festival as one of fervor, spirituality, and living tradition. And finally, in other news, the Indian flag is also in the spotlight today across streets, schools and monuments. The entire nation is celebrating its 78th Independence Day. The day is marked with patriotic songs and the national anthem. In Mauritius, an official ceremony is being held at the Indian High Commission, a symbol of the strong ties uniting the two nations. Ashi Bachu reports.
For India, August 15th is a day of remembrance and pride. In 1947, after decades of struggle driven by iconic leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru and Subhash Chandra Bose, the country turned the page on British colonial rule, a historic moment that shaped the identity of a nation that is today home to more than 1 billion people. This morning, all eyes are on New Delhi. From the ramparts of the Red Fort, the Prime Minister addressed the nation. A speech broadcasted live, followed by millions of families, in big cities as well as in the most remote villages. In schools, children will sing the national anthem, placing their hand on the heart, eyes lifted towards the flag. And this celebration will not stop at the borders. The Indian diaspora, present in every corner of the world, will also mark this date. In Mauritius, an official ceremony will take place at the High Commission of India, a symbolic moment to recall the deep ties between the two countries. Ties are further strengthened after the 36-hour visit of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi in March. A visit marked by the signing of 8 memorandums of understanding and the announcement of new joint projects. For India, August 15th is more than just a historic date. It is a time to pay tribute to those who dreamed of freedom and a promise to keep building the future together.
And you're listening to Rm1. It's 9:07, where we move to the United States for world news. All 800 National Guard troops who were ordered to the U.S. capital, Washington, to aid law enforcement personnel by President Donald Trump have now been mobilized, the Pentagon confirmed. Trump ordered the deployment, which follows a similar move during protests in Los Angeles in June as part of what he billed as a crackdown on crime in Washington, where violent offenses are in fact down. They will assist the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department and federal law enforcement partners with monument security, community safety patrols, protecting federal facilities and offices, and traffic control posts. The troops will remain until law and order has been restored in the district, as determined by the president, she added. And we finish with sports. The Mixed Martial Arts Federation is organizing the public MMA Open Day this Saturday, August 16, in the east of the island. The event will take place in the parking area of Flac Queue de Ville from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. On the program, introductory sessions for the general public and a regional competition inside a professional MMA cage. And that's all from me this morning. Thanks so much for listening.